look, I gotta say this right now. Whatever you doing or you was doing, I'm gonna need you to lock in because this shit is finna get crazy. In fact, so crazy that I already know that my throat is gonna be hurting when it's all said and done. That's why I got these goddamn cough drops.
Now, everybody done seen somebody get their ass whooped one time in their life, whether it be fictional or real life. And sometimes the ass whooping might be so bad, you feel bad just watching the shit. But I can confidently say that there is no person who has taken ass whoopings as bad and as frequent as my nigga Mark Grayson. Now, before we get into the how this man gets his ass beat so much, we have to dive into the why he gets his ass beat so much. You see, Mark Grayson is quite literally the Gohan of the Invincible universe. And to give some contrast to the two characters, when you look at both of their alien race origins, it stems from motherfuckers that just don't care about human life or life in general and just want to fuck shit up. And both their fathers came down to Earth, fucked some fine shit, and then gave birth to them. And unfortunately for Mark's case, just like Gohan, both of these niggas' fathers grew up fighting shit. That's all they know how to do is fight. And then when you look at their sons, they both grew up in a nice suburban two-parent household. And then after having a somewhat normal childhood, you're now forced to learn how to fight and defend not only yourself, but also the whole goddamn earth from the most vile, evil villains in all of fiction.
Like, dog, just imagine you chilling, laying down in your bed, minding your business, and then boom, your father just flying, talking about, hey, yo, son, we gotta get ready to save the earth again. Like, my nigga, I just saved the earth yesterday, bro. Like, what the fuck? And then on top of all that, I ain't getting paid to do none of this shit. Like, bro, this fucking bullshit.
So after waiting years to get his powers while laying down, my nigga Mark is contemplating to himself, hey yo, when the fuck am I gonna get my powers? He jumps out the bed and goes outside the window to see if them damn powers finally kicked in. He does an Assassin's Creed leap of faith, and next thing you know, the nigga starts floating. And the next day, after finally getting his powers, Omni-Man decides to teach my boy Mark on how to fly. And the two of them are just having the best father and son moments that you will ever see, bro. Hey, look, shout out to all the dads out there, man, for real. Unfortunately, though, Mark acts like a motherfucker who just started driving for the first time and don't know how to slow down. All the nigga know how to do is go, go, go faster. Bro, closing his eyes and shit like it's gonna do something. Like, my nigga, stop. Bro, after just seeing this shit alone, I already know I'm not trying to be in the whip with bro. He gonna dead ass kill everybody in that bitch. Omni-Man decides, okay, flying ain't your thing. That's okay, son. We gonna teach you how to knock a motherfucker out. Mark, as a demonstration, decides to throw these fucking weak, pathetic ass punches. Like, nigga, what the fuck is this shit, bro? Like, I know you can do better. Man, they just be letting any and everybody have these superpowers, man. Imagine if they gave this shit to Mike Tyson and he was Omni-Man's son. Oh yeah, it's a wrap. Mark still throwing these weak punches, sparring with his dad. His dad decides, you know what? I'm gonna show you how to throw a real punch. And after getting hit one good time in the gut, he goes down. And his dad just looking at his son like, man, what the fuck kind of son did I raise? Not even gonna lie though, that old man's strength is nothing to be played with. So I'm gonna give my nigga Mark a pass for now. Now keep in mind, Mark still at this point barely even knows how to use his powers, and he somehow feels compelled enough to throw on this ugly ass plumber outfit to fight crime. Like, this gotta be one of the worst, if not the worst, superhero debut outfits in history. Now, when Mark's first ever fight against a villain named Titan who was on the run from the law, my nigga Mark just supersonic speeds tackles the nigga onto the ground. Now, already in this scene alone, you can see potential in my boy Mark's fighting capability. He done gave a 10 out of 10 entrance performance. Like most of these superheroes, especially when they encounter the villain, they be like, stop right there before I send you back to jail. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. Don't say what you're going to do. Just do the shit. Make your presence known. And my boy Mark did exactly that. Now, this fake ass Colossus starts charging at Mark, and he does the number one thing that you are never supposed to do in a fight, which is turn or move your body away, especially when they're charging at you, because all they're gonna sense is that you got some bitchness inside of you, and it's gonna have to make you take the defensive side, which Mark starts off at. But then what pisses me off is Mark throws these uncalculated punches, and instead of moving the fuck out the way, he just looks up and stares Titan in his eyes and soul like, gang, Mark, what are you doing? Like, did you just forget what your dad just taught you, bro? Like, what happened to this? Remember this? He ends up taking 2 chicken nuggets with no fries to the face and proceeds to get choked out aggressively while getting tossed away hard as hell, getting his back blown out in the process. Mark then starts to lock the fuck in, and he just starts going crazy. He charges at him again, and just starts dragging this motherfucker everywhere. And then to deliver the cherry on top, Mark takes old dude out like how Peter did Harry in Spider-Man 3, knocking him the fuck out. Now Mark gets a new suit, and as soon as this man gets a new suit, he just doesn't know what the fuck to do, bro. He does the most attention-grabbing shit I have seen. Like, who the fuck is you feeling like? And while in pursuit of doing all of this extra shit, he sees an explosion going down in the city. And while bro's just sitting there standing, Mark zooms in and clocks the shit out of this nigga in the motherfucking face. Then before bro can even get up and collect his thoughts and contemplate life, my nigga, my boy Mark is not letting up, and he continues to tag this man. Like, damn, such ruthlessness. Now right now, my boy Mark is in his rookie season alone, going back to back like Michael Jordan. So you already know the boy feels good, but unfortunately this is the beginning of many, and I mean many ass whoopings. Literally, just look at what happens when some real shit actually transpires on Earth. Bro, ain't no way this man is out here trying to defend like this against this big ass laser. What the fuck is that gonna do, bro? You see, this the shit that's pissing me off. Mark telling these motherfucking aliens to stop. Like, my nigga, did you not just see what the fuck happened to these civilians? And because Mark over here doesn't know how to make a decisive decision, this man just cost 4 innocent people their lives. My boy Mark out here losing his mind. He's scared of blood, he panicking, frantic and shit, all while this elderly lady is on the floor hanging on to dear life, getting ready to tap into the afterlife. No! It's okay, I'm here. Are you hurt? So let me get this straight. My mans has the ability to fly at the speed of light in any given direction, but chooses to fly in a circle surrounded by all of these aliens just to get shot in the back. My nigga, you're fucking useless.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
Oh my god, like, bro, shut the fuck up, bro. I already know this man Mark would not have survived one night in Gotham City acting like this. Then after getting saved by another superhero, and shortly after having the enemies retreat, they pull back again. While poor Mark is flying towards this fake ass Hulkbuster, the motherfucker sidesteps out the way clean as hell and then grabs my boy Mark and throws him like a toy. But then bro just watching Mark get up slowly while he just standing there, and then once he does get up, he Donkey Kong on tops of the man and proceeds to knock the absolute fuck out of him. And he just sitting there taking this like, damn. But thank goodness my boy Mark has one of the coldest fathers in all of fiction, because not only does he pull up to save his son's life, but he makes his motherfucking presence felt. I mean, just making these aliens seem like child's play.
You don't seem to understand. Earth isn't yours to conquer.
I mean, that's one way to take care of the problem. After essentially being useless for I don't even know how long at this point, Mark continues the trend of doing exactly that. Because tell me why this weird ass scientist goes down the deep end to the point of kidnapping motherfuckers and turning them into goddamn cyborg, and then sends the robot out and about to just fuck shit up. So then one of Mark's dumbass friends just comes up with the plan of throwing these cans at this inhumane cyborg. Like, my nigga, just conceptualize this for one moment. You see this ugly ass creature, you ain't never seen nothing like this before in your life, and instead of getting the strap or anything else, god damn it, you decide to get some useless ass cans. Now look at you. Instead of running when you had the chance, you want to be superhero so bad, now you're out here getting choked out like a bitch. Which is something Mark isn't determined to be, as he comes right in the nick of time to redeem himself. But what will become a recurring theme for my boy Mark is that he will start off the fight decently, land a little two-piece chicken nugget combo here and there, but then he will fuck up the whole entire momentum by either getting his back blown out or getting his face pummeled to shit, as shown here. Now my boy Mark gets bailed out in the craziest way I've ever seen in my life. Now you would think it would be because, you know, he decided to not hold back and actually beat the motherfucking ass. No, none of that. It's because the nigga is so atrocious looking that he saw his reflection in the water and decided to off himself. Like, ain't that some shit? But what's really some shit is while Mark's little friend is getting kidnapped, my boy Mark ass is getting arguably one of the worst jumpings that he has ever experienced. Bro gets knocked, and I mean knocked. But then to add to it, bro then picks his ass up like Bane did Batman in Batman Begins or The Dark Knight or whichever one of the motherfucking movies. Then bro just receives a devious 3-piece meal. First getting rocked in the mouth again. Second getting his ankle grabbed tight as hell just to get tossed away like some trash. And then third, the nigga gets bear hugged. But then what makes it worse is just look at how this nigga gets dragged away, like, bro. And then just look at how thirsty these cyborgs are, bro. These niggas ran, not walked, not jogged. No, they ran to jump Mark, and they literally beat the absolute living fuck out of this nigga with punch after punch after punch. Like, bro, just fight back, please, do something. But here's the crazy shit. One of the niggas earlier on campus, this man right here, unprograms himself and saves Mark ass. But when it's all said and done, Mark has the nerve to go to this sorry ass scientist and backhand the shit out of him. Like, damn, shit. But nah, don't try to act like you cool and you that shit when you was literally getting your ass handled to you 5 minutes ago. But Mark's confidence does not last long because after teaming up with Titan to take out goddamn Boombox Man, the nigga done called up his own version of the Avengers, which notoriously includes... Bro, I could write a whole paragraph on this freaky ass nigga. I mean, dog, just look at this man getting two-pieced up, bro. Look at his face. This man is unfazed. He is showing no type of emotion or reaction. At that point, I would have ran like a bitch. I don't give a fuck. So then after kneeing Titan in the face and then doing a home run on his ass, he yeets the hell out of Mark into the goddamn stratosphere. While getting tortured, Mark just says, fuck everybody and just starts letting loose. And even while bro finally letting loose, giving everybody this 10-piece wing combo, my man's fucked up so hard saying this shit.
Who's next?
Bro, every time Mark does something right, every time, he just finds some way to fuck this shit up. Then while Mark laying down trying to get up fighting for his life, Battle Beast tries to put the end to him, but Mark ain't going easy. So then this nigga Battle Beast not only takes it up a notch, he takes that motherfucker up halfway to infinity. Bro starts off with a face stomp. Then he picks him up, but not just regularly picks a nigga up. He engulfs his hand around his face to establish dominance like, yeah, nigga, you a little boy to me. Gut checks him with his fist, then his knee. Then he gives the double clinch back blow, followed up by the underneath swoop kick. And despite all of this, I kid you not, it gets worse. Yes, it somehow gets worse. Battle Beast gets a tingling sensation and he looks over at Mark and finds out he is still alive. Which brings me to the number 2 thing that you never do in a fight. Especially if your life on the line and you look like you dead, motherfucker, play dead. Cause now Battle Beast's attention is on Mark and he's taking his sweet time walking towards him. But poor Mark, all he can do is just crawl and beg for his life. But that shit ain't enough because Battle Beast gets to Mark and he crushes his ankle. And while smiling, he hits this nigga Mark so hard that he damn near sends bro to the afterlife. He damn near was a quarter ways there. And while Mark's blood is splattered everywhere, including Battle Beast's face, this overly freaked out ass nigga decides to lick his blood with the utmost of horniness, then continues to fully assert his dominance amongst these niggas.
Pathetic child. This battle is beneath me. There is no honor in killing insects.
Now we get to season 2. And right off the rip, we got 3 nerd-ass criminals linking up together to create this sophisticated-ass machinery that I can't tell you shit about. But what I can tell you is that the shit starts malfunctioning crazy. Mark pulls up to finally catch his dud that he hasn't gotten in God knows how long at this point, man. Then while Mark and the Maulers are fighting each other, these goddamn alternate reality dimensional portals start pouring in with these beef steroid smurf ass niggas. And the crazy thing is that my nigga Mark starting off the fight, he actually defended himself until he doesn't. No, bro, I can't. My nigga Mark be getting his ass beat so bad that it hurts to watch. Like, bro, fight back, do something. Cause the shit is so bad, bro, and the chair couldn't take this shit. He had to blow himself up to stop watching this shit. Now, after arguably getting one of the worst jump-ins in the history of mankind, Mark decides to go on a date with his girl, Amber, to, ease his mind off of things. But even that doesn't last long. Cause out of nowhere, Mark's own alien race just decides to randomly pull up on Earth. And old girl ain't playing with Mark because she telling him, hey look, if you think you fast enough to stop me from breaking this bitch neck, by all means, try me. Mark, obviously panicking at this point, he acquiesces. He like, okay, you stay chill, I stay chill. As long as you don't hurt nobody, I will talk to you. And Mark's home people are dead ass like gang members, bro, because they talking about, hey look, you got some territory to conquer. If you don't conquer this territory, we gonna have some issues. Like, my nigga, what the fuck kind of indoctrination ass shit is this? And also keep this in mind that while all of this is transpiring, these NPCs is acting like nothing abnormal is going on. Like, gang, did y'all not just see old girl flying at the speed of light and is threatening to kill old girl? Mark and Anissa get into some whole Assassin's Creed philosophy on human rights. And Shorty telling Mark, hey look, our job is to go planet to planet and establish an order and to kill any motherfucker who ain't trying to get down and trust the process. And in response to this, Mark takes the stance, no, that's not right. Humans need their freedom. Even if they use it for wrong and even if they're morally flawed, they still need their freedom. And what you guys are doing is just not right. And this absolutely pisses off Nissa, bro. She like, nigga, I just explained to you with logical reasoning the error of your ways, and this is what you walk away with? Which, on that note, Shorty isn't entirely wrong, because freedom without any sort of structure does inevitably lead to chaos, which Mark, by being young and naive, doesn't understand. But where the Viltrumites fuck up is that the means in which they try to achieve this goal is completely asinine. And because of this difference in philosophical nature, Mark tells old girl, I think you need to leave. Anissa starts off the fight so fast that Mark doesn't even have time to react before she appears in this nigga's face. She shatters Mark so hard in the jaw that not only can you see the frame in which this nigga gets sent to another dimension, but his glass is completely shattered, and to top all of it, she stretches my man's body completely out. Mark, still being shooken up by the attack to the point of having blood gush out of his nose, was unbeknownst to him is that old girl finna give him that grand slam. Hey, with the amount of back damage Mark has already taken so far in his life, I am so surprised that this man does not have scoliosis or some shit. But he clearly has some level of form of CTE. He rushing her full speed, full power, clearly connected, and it doesn't amount to jack shit. Instead of backing off coming up with a plan, he continues down stupid path, and Shorty stopped that shit. She grabs this nigga hand, tosses him, and sends him flying like she's skipping rocks, my nigga. Mark is half dead. Mind you, this nigga only got hit 3 times. 3 punches did all of this shit, bro.
Mark, listen to me. Say you'll do it. Say fine. I'll take over the planet. You can't beat her, kid. Say it. Get her to leave and we'll get ready for these assholes together.
Mark, no, give up. Oh my God, I hate this nigga. I don't know what possesses Mark to do the dumb shit that he does, but I got no choice but to respect it. But what is hard to respect is what's finna come next. Invincible does the most choreographed punch I've ever seen in my life, and he has the nerve to look surprised. Like, nigga, why the fuck are you looking surprised? Did you not see her ass looking directly at you? Who the hell do you think gonna get fooled by this weak punch? Then old girl Nissa does an ultimate special move on Mark. After getting hit with one of the most disrespectful ultimate moves I have seen in my days of living, Mark starts taunting Anissa saying, hey look, I know you ain't gonna kill me, because if you wanted to kill me, you would have done it by now, so which one is it? Now, even though that is a very dangerous game to play when your life is hanging on the balance, it somehow worked. And before she leaves, she gives Mark a warning, hey look, I'm gonna leave right now, but somebody else stronger than me is gonna come back to this motherfucker, and if shit ain't where it's supposed to be at, that's gonna be your ass. After Mark dealt with a crazy motherfucker, he gotta deal with another one. Angstrom Levy, the nigga that couldn't take Mark getting his ass beat so much that he blew himself up. In fact, not only did he survive that explosion, but he's back alive, and his head is big as fuck. And because of his deformation, it has driven him clinically insane to the point to where he wants revenge on Mark by any means possible. And he starts with targeting his mother and his Barney looking brother, which, you know, after Omni-Man beat the living dog shit out of his son, abandoned his wife and his son, then went to a whole nother planet, fucked some alien guts up, and gave birth to Oliver. Hey, that's gotta be Father of the Year, hands down. Even though what Omni-Man did was hella disrespectful, Angstrom pushes the levels of disrespect by putting his hands around Mark's mother's neck. Oh, fuck no. Hey, look, at this point, the nigga gotta die by principle. I don't give a fuck if you a superhero, anti-hero, or whatever the hell you is. You just gotta kill a nigga that's doing some shit like this. So Mark, angry, justifiably so, he gets ready to charge up his energy and rush towards Angstrom, but he gets caught in his little teleportation dimensional trap shit. And he falls for this shit not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, but 5 goddamn times. Like, nigga, do you really have CTE? And while being in the middle of nowhere, desolated, no hope, Mark takes notice of a portal. He puts 2 and 2 together, and he catches Angstrom off guard livid. Before he starts putting fist to face, he looks over and sees his poor brother and his mother half dead. He looks back at bro with the most disgust look on his face. He launches this nigga far and wide outside the premises of the house. But what's throwing me off is that while Mark is choking this man halfway to death, he's getting turned on off of this. Like, bro, this is the second freaky villain so far. And Mark's behavior is just too predictable at this point, because every time he does one good move, it's a whole lineage of just ass whooping that follows. Which is exactly what Angstrom Levy does to Mark, because he is punching bro through every dimension known to man. Each punch is strong enough to send him to another dimension. But if the situation couldn't get any worse, after delivering all of that ass whooping, he gets on top of Mark, and while choking him out, he tells him, hey look, once I'm done killing you, I'm gonna come back and kill your mama and your brother. Mark gets bro off of him, and he finally gets sick of his shit, and he snaps. And when I mean snap, I mean this nigga snaps. He lands 1, 2, 3 hard ass punches. Like, damn. But no, the ass whooping don't stop there, because he launches straight towards dude and delivers the motherfucking beat down of the century. I'm talking hands on hands on hands on goddamn hands. The beatdown is so bad that Angstrom is sticking his hands out begging for it to stop, but Mark moves that motherfucking hand out the way like, nah nigga, you gon' feel these hands today. After serving the 30+ piece Big Mac combo, he finishes it off with the double clinch back blower. Woo! I mean, damn, he is just engulfed with bro's blood all over him. I think it's safe to say that he's dead. Now, the Mauler twins are back at it doing evil shit. Then the sorry-ass superheroes of this show pop out to save the day, which they don't do that at all because they're fucking useless. It is a 5v1, bruh. And still, despite the odds being in their favor, every single one of them gets taken out with the same exact weapon. So Mark back at the crib watching all these events unfold, and he just thinking to himself, Man, I gotta say these sorry ass niggas again. When the hell I'm gonna get some help? Then after Mark shows up, before he can even land a punch on these two, he goes down just like the rest of these trash niggas. But fortunately, my boy Oliver shows up to help, which this pisses Mark off, thus making him lose concentration and then getting uppercutted and then eventually choked out again. He going off on Oliver, telling him, hey, take your little ass home now, bruh. This is for the grown-ups, not no little kids. The Maulers use this as an opportunity to launch a missile, which forces Mark to have to go after it, which only leaves Oliver. And despite being down 2-1, Lil Bro lands a punch so hard that it takes this man's jaw completely out of the picture. And in response to this, one of the Mauler brothers takes Oliver's leg while he's flying and completely Hulk slams him to the ground like, oh my goodness. Then Oliver just gets up and completely transforms into a whole nother deity. And the jawless nigga warning him like, hey yo bro, look behind you. But by the time this man looks back, Oliver completely eviscerates my man's guts. And if that's not enough, he does this shit.
That's what happens when you're a bad guy. Too late.
Hey, you know what? Shout out to the little homie, bro, because Oliver is the only nigga in this damn show that is able to get shit done. Mark obviously being affected what his little bro just did. He's pissed. And Oliver also pissed. He telling Mark, hey, look, bro, you trying to get mad at me because I killed somebody, but nigga, you killed somebody too, and you trying to get on my case because I did what needed to be done? Which is literally a recurring theme for Mark, is that this nigga wants to play this moral high ground. He don't want to kill nobody, but yet at the same time, he ain't trying to stop nobody. Like, nigga, pick a struggle. And speaking of struggles, somehow Angstrom Levy is still alive. Like, how the hell is this nigga still alive? He look like one of those clickers off The Last of Us, bro. My man's face is gone. He musters up what remaining strength that he has to open this portal for these robots to find and fix him. And after getting fixed, my man's wasted no time on getting revenge on Mark. Cause this nigga hates Mark so bad that he literally gets every evil variant of Mark that he could find in all these different alternate realities. It brings all their asses to Mark's world to turn it to hell itself. I'm talking about buildings fucked up, the streets fucked up, it's fire everywhere, niggas is dying, and Mark, who went from dark chocolate to white chocolate Eve, damn near almost died. So while the world is literally dying, Mark is by Eve's side while she recovering. Caesar walks into the room and lets Mark know, hey Mark, I know you're going through some shit right now, but we could really use you right now. You know what, fuck that. The world could really use you right now. And besides you, all we're left with is sorry ass superheroes that are either dead or getting fucked up right now. And in response to this bitch ass nigga Mark says no. Like, the fuck you mean no, nigga? Does this man not know that besides a select few niggas in this show, everybody else is sorry as fuck? Like, I cannot stress that enough. We talking about niggas that die damn near every episode, and in Mortal's case, damn near 15,000 times. In the meantime, Angstrom summons all the Marks together to discuss their further plans, but after having a little disagreement, if you will, he straight up just banishes all their asses to a whole nother dimension. Right after that though, Caesar teleports Mark right to Bro's location, and Mark finishes exactly where he left off. But this time, instead of trying to directly trap Mark into an alternate reality, he starts spamming these metal balls or some shit to do the job for him. While Mark rushes towards Angstrom, he tries to hit Mark with the same shit, but this time, he hit him with the clean acrobats, like, oh, Mark, I see you. And finally, bro, after so long, bro, Mark is finally using his battle IQ, and it is just a beautiful thing to see, because the amount of acrobatic maneuvering that he is doing right now, he's putting it all on display. Then right as Mark is closing in for the finishing punch, bro just pulls out a swarm of these metal balls out of nowhere. After getting overpowered by all the balls, Mark still manages to get up. Levy opens up a portal behind Mark and then two more by the side of himself so that he can use the balls to push Mark in. But even that's not enough to stop Mark, because not only is he holding his own, he's slicing and dicing through them motherfuckers. So Angstrom like, okay, if two not enough, try three then. Despite being overwhelmed with the amount of balls being thrown in his direction, Mark starts to get some type of divine energy, and and he just goes Kaioken times 100 in this bitch. Just long enough for the attack to stop, and when it does, Mark wastes no time in grabbing this nigga's neck. But despite being in a position to kill this man, the same man that had his hands around his mama's neck, and despite his own brother telling him, hey Mark, kill this nigga, and despite his own conscience telling him that he should kill him, he still doesn't do the shit. And because of that hesitation, it's enough for this nigga to get away, and the only thing Mark gets in return is fucking his arm. Like, good, I guess? Literally the same day after all of this traumatic shit happened and Mark is still trying to process what the fuck going on, another Viltrumite pulls up. Conquest looking around and then he tells Mark, man, it still looks like you ain't get Earth under control like you were supposed to. And Mark being pissed off, he like, hey, Aki nigga.
You don't understand. All this is my fault. So the only thing I want to do right now is hit something as hard as I can.
Good.
Hey, nah, bro. This man has all the check boxes for a psychotic freak. He has the old nigga strength. He has fucked up teeth, and he has the ability to get turned on when fighting, and we just getting started. Within minutes, these two clash so motherfucking hard, they send shockwaves hella far. While the two of them are locking hands together, Conquest, clearly overpowering Mark, he headbutts him and then chokes, bro, and takes him all the way to the ground hard.
Right about now, Anissa would be telling you how the Viltrum Empire would turn this wretched planet into a utopia. How you would be stupid to resist. I'll tell you no such thing. The truth is, I want you to resist.
My nigga, excuse me? Hey, look, you got it, gang. A nigga says some shit like this, do what you gotta do. Conquest put his hand on Mark to turn him around, but as soon as he does that, Mark pops him upside the face, direct hit. And in response to this, all this Aki nigga says is, that's a start. My nigga, did you not just feel that? Mark like, man, fuck this shit. He takes bro through all of these buildings on some Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe shit. Conquest one punches his way through all this debris, lifts Mark ass from up under the debris just to choke him out like my mans haven't been choked enough throughout this whole entire video. Mark breaks out the chokehold and then double claps my mans in the head just to kick him off of him. And of course this old nigga talking shit again, talking about, oh, very good. And Mark like, bro, I'm just getting warmed up. And he activates his special move, landing one hit, then another hit, then another hit, and then sends this man into the sky. Then he adds some style points by bringing him down to his level just so he can knee him further into the sky. And he does an aerial stunt to gain momentum to land this hard ass punch. Now Mark just used arguably the most battle IQ I have seen him use thus far, and despite all of his efforts, this Aki ass nigga does the most outrageous shit that I have seen in my entire 20 plus years of living on this earth.
Hey, yup.
Bro, I know this nigga did not just use his blood to make it into a heart-shaped bubble for this nigga. Like, I don't know how the fuck to feel about this. I be telling you, man, it's something about the buff, freaky niggas that you just gotta look out for. And clearly Mark doesn't either, because Conquest takes advantage of that, taking the air out of my man's lungs and sending his little ass down to orbit. While the two of them are fighting on the way down, Mark needs Conquest to get this crazy motherfucker up off of him. And Mark does the same dumbass shit that's been getting him fucked up every time, and that's talking shit.
You still sure this is gonna go your way?
Mark, I don't know if you haven't been too observant through this whole entire fight, but you haven't dealt no damage, bro. Like, this psychotic freak is just going with your punches. That's until Conquest like, I bet that little nigga, and punches Mark so motherfucking hard that it takes this nigga a whole minute to get up. Mind you, this whole entire fight is being broadcast for everybody to see, including Oliver, Mark's mother, and her random side piece. Oliver tells Debbie, mama, my brother's getting his booty kicked on a level that's unpresidential. I gotta help her do something. Debbie walks towards Oliver and tells him, okay, but as long as you stay safe though. Meanwhile, Mark is in the Twilight Zone. My man barely conscious, he's struggling to get up like an old man, and then on top of that, he coughing up blood. Then he notices the ground starting to shake, so he slowly turns his head to see what the fuck going on, and this nigga Conquest is flying at Mach speed. The nigga flying so fast that glass is literally shattering as he's flying. And all Mark can do is pose like this as he takes the hit head on. Oliver, not too far away from the action, he sees the impact of what just transpired and flies faster towards Mark. But then he sees his brother get skadoodled far into the sky, so he changes direction. Oliver is flying as fast as he can, but no matter how fast he flies, he just cannot keep up with the speed in which his brother's getting his ass punched. Then my nigga Mark gets punched so hard that he goes straight through one building, then he goes through another building and tears that motherfucker all the way down, then he goes through another building and tears that bitch down too. And then while he's still going, he gets his back blown out in front of a gas tank truck and the motherfucker explodes point blank in his face. Like, damn, bruh. And while Mark is barely able to even move, he sees Conquest moving at the speed of light towards him, and he tells him to stop, which even catches Conquest off guard. He tells Conquest to listen, and without even saying shit, he just straight up manhandles Mark.
You think I'm gonna give you a chance to surrender? I am having the time of my life here. Hey, don't give up. You can do this. You still got a chance. You just need the right motivation. When I am done with you, I am going to kill everyone else.
Bro, there is something wrong with this nigga. But Conquest ain't gonna be able to do that because my nigga Oliver came through when the world needed him the most. But the boy tries to get too greedy and goes for seconds, and Conquest was not going on that shit, bro. He done clotheslined my little nigga's neck so hard, I am convinced that motherfucker is broken. Then he grabs Oliver mid-air and tells him this.
And you are? I prefer to know who I'm dismembering.
But Mark drop kicks Conquest, letting bro know, hey, we ain't doing none of that shit today. Conquest slowly rises up and starts walking, which eventually turns into running towards Mark and Oliver. Mark is telling Oliver, nigga, leave, please. And after Oliver is still persistent, he throws him out the crossfire. Conquest turns into Broly himself and face palms Mark's head across the whole entire city. And just judging by the fear in my boy Mark's face, you can tell that he is fighting for his life. After getting picked up, thrown onto a car, Mark dodges out of the way, coming right back with the infamous headbutt attack, causing Conquest to take a couple steps back. Now you would think that's a good thing, right? Of course this freak love that shit. So now Mark like, okay, since you love this shit, take this thing. He hits Conquest again and again and again and again and again. Conquest turns his head. Mark like, no, you gonna take this shit back to 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 back until Mark is motherfucking tired. Then Conquest catches Mark's next punch and slowly rises up and tells him to his face, if that's all you got, buddy, your ass is cooked. Mark charges at Conquest just for him to get grabbed up. Oh, by Conquest that he's just holding back, just for him to get dragged every which way until he gets grand slammed onto the ground. He picks Mark up like a noodle. Wait, hold on. Who the fuck made my man's fall like this, bruh? Like, y'all could have gave him a better animation or something at least. Conquest says to Mark, hey, look, man, I'm having fun and all, but this shit getting a little too easy, I ain't gonna lie. He kung fu pushes my man, flies right above him while talking more shit, then turns into Tony Hawk while using my man's as a skateboard, dragging him across the street, my nigga. Lifts up his head and tells him, I wish your dad was here to watch me kill your punk ass. Conquest getting ready to end Mark's whole existence until Oliver comes with the beautiful timing to save Mark again. But this time, Lil Man ain't gonna be able to get off as easy, because despite Mark telling Conquest to leave his brother alone, my nigga gets his backhand ready, locked and loaded. Conquest seamlessly backhands the shit out of Mark, then slides smooth as hell in front of Oliver's field of view and socks the fuck out of him. And it's not until Oliver stands up until he realizes how much damage that one punch did. I mean, bro's coughing up blood and teeth simultaneously. After that, Conquest does the most heinous shit ever.
We're not done yet. You feel your body starting to rip. First your muscles tear, then your vertebrae, they separate. If you're able to focus through the pain, it's your skin next. Pulled to its breaking point, just as it starts to rip. This is going to be amazing.
I don't know which one is worse. The fact that this man is so well articulated in being able to describe on how to dismember a person, or the fact that he is showing so much just happiness in doing this to a child. Mark sees what's going on and tackles Conquest, but this big ass nigga uses all of his weight to shut Mark's momentum down. He grabs Mark's head, lifts him up, and lands a good one up on him. But Mark ain't going easy either, cause he comes right back with the energy. And the homie Oliver is just barely hanging on. He coughing up blood, he losing consciousness, but fortunately Cecil and his people get first aid to treat him. Meanwhile, while Mark's skipping like a rock, Conquest flying at Mach speeds towards Mark. He grabs Mark's head again and drowns him underwater and then picks him back up. He gets Mark prepared so that he can deliver him what I like to call the Omni-Man special. And by just flying by, they eviscerate all of these people, happy people at that. He drags Mark through damn near the whole entire city while eviscerating more motherfuckers, including the dog and the children. Drags him some more throughout the dirt and then goes up into the air and lets Mark go. And while airborne, Mark lands a hit of his own. And then Eve comes in to assist Mark. Conquest turns all of his attention towards her, but Mark intervenes, looks back, and tells Eve to go. Conquest headbutts Mark, and for whatever reason, my boy just standing perfectly still for him to chop this nigga bone out of his leg. Eve traps Conquest into this big ass bubble force field shit, which he breaks with just one Hulk clap. Then Eve uses the bubble particles and does this cool ass transformation. Before Conquest can even let it hit on old girl, she increases the density of the air. Eve throws this humongous projectile at Conquest, but it ain't enough. He knocks that shit and rushes towards Eve and breaks each and every single one of her force fields. She uses the broken particles to make a bubble restricting Conquest movements. And the girl, Eve, starts going crazy. I mean, she goes Green Lantern mode, hitting this nigga Conquest with every move, every projectile, every attack, everything that she got in her arsenal. But despite all of that, Conquest like, okay, that's enough. He tears all of Eve's armor off one by one by one by one until ain't shit left. And while Eve is dazed, this nigga Conquest clothesline punches her so motherfucking hard that damn near half her face came off. Then he finishes her off with a Mortal Kombat ass fatality. Bro, old girl's guts is just flying in the air, bro. I don't even know what to say. Like, this is just fucked up. Mark catches Eve and brings her down to the ground to be with her in her last moments, and my man's is just losing it. He's crying out for Cecil. He's crying out for just anybody to help. And bro just over here licking blood off of his hands like, you sick bastard. Then has the nerve to talk more shit to Mark.
Not long now, huh? If you've got anything to tell her, I wouldn't wait. Oh, too late? Good. You know, while I have your attention, I want to thank you, Mark. Really. You know, it's not often I get to cut loose like this. Usually there are so many mission parameters, so many things not to destroy, people not to kill. But for whatever reason, and I don't really care why, I was ordered to take control of Earth by any means necessary. You did something to piss us off, and I thank you for it. This has been an immense joy.
I don't care how strong you are. I don't care how fast you are. I can see the future. You don't live to see tomorrow.
After all I've done, after all this, you still think you can threaten me? I dare say, child, you are starting to impress me. Do your worst.
And on that, Mark delivers. No, he beyond delivers because he charges so hard at Conquest, both these niggas' hands get all the way fucked up. And for Mark's case, his hand's so fucked up, the motherfucking bone sticking out. Mark enters his inner Gohan mode like I still got one good arm, bitch. So Conquest dodges Mark attack and locks my man into the bear hug. And Mark, who is beyond locked in at this point, like, nigga, I don't need my hands and arms to take your ass out. And this nigga takes a chunk out of his shoulder on some cannibalism shit. Conquest throws Mark up off of him and Mark spits this nigga's shoulder out of his mouth. And while the two of them are clashing, Eve unlocks some crazy transformation, bro. Like, I don't know if she related to Ben 10 cousin, but them motherfuckers looking the exact same right about now. Mark gets Conquest on the ground and proceeds to punch this nigga the fuck out until he looks over and sees Eve's crazy transformation. And as he's seeing that, Conquest chokes this nigga out and slams him back onto the ground and got him just looking crazy. Then the psychotic buff nigga goes down to Mark's ear and whispers,
I am so lonely. All the other Viltrumites are scared of me. No one talks to me. No one wants to be my friend. They think I am unstable.
bro, you are the fuck. Right as soon as Mark is finna see the gates of heaven, Eve releases this big ass sonic blast, turning my boy Conquest into some rotisserie chicken. But then after that, this nigga still ain't down. Like, what the fuck is this nigga, bro? Mark like, bitch, die already, damn. He launches towards Conquest and breaks this nigga face in. Then socks him some more times until Conquest catches one of them bitches and snaps this nigga hand off. And right at this moment, Mark turns into the realest nigga I think he will ever be in his life. I mean, I ain't never seen no shit like this. He headbutts this nigga back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Pauses, then goes in headbutting this nigga again and 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 again until it's finally fucking over. My nigga Mark got this motherfucker looking like the clickers off of The Last of Us, man. Woo! He uses his last energy to head over to Eve and pass out right next to her. And then after whooping Conquest's ass, my boy Mark gets back to the crib with Eve. Get ready to fuck them guts up. My nigga Mark has gotten his ass beat more times than I can count, to the point to where I'm losing my motherfucking voice. But in the end, the nigga done came through.